Alrighty then, let's go ahead and jump onto some of that deep shit. How many of you ever heard of the term Occam's Razor? Occam's Razor was a term made by William of Occam that basically states that when explaining something, you do not need to multiply anything unnecessarily. What that means is basically, if you're explaining an 8-foot snake, you shouldn't make the snake 16 foot or 30 foot. And pretty much going on so forth. The reason I'm pretty much giving this definition out is I had a conversation with a buddy of mine about Occam's Razor and about space aliens. I go along with this. The conversation goes something like to the point of, there's mulch on the side of my house. I didn't put the mulch down. I don't know what's under the mulch. Under that mulch could be the tunnel to Narnia for all I know. But by using common sense and deduction, I'm more leaning towards what's under that mulch would be ground, dirt. Just like oceans. The reason this came up was a conversation based on oceans. I go, every time I go to the ocean, it mesmerizes me. And I'm like, we have conquered that. Just looking at the ocean. Not a lot of people get to do this, but I'm living so close to the ocean, I could go and just look at it. And just the waves coming in, and it's like vast, huge thing, and it's like, wow. We as a species have beat this. And it's just such a good feeling. I think it just gets took for granted every day. Even the people that live and work on the ocean probably take this for granted, that we have defeated this mammoth, this leviathan. We have conquered what controls 70+% of our planet. And they start talking about the unknowns. Well, we haven't conquered the ocean. We're like, all right. We obviously know what's in the ocean. We obviously know that certain animals in the ocean are capable of killing us. But the fact is, if I need to get to London, I'm pretty sure I could do it within a couple days. There is some way, man-made, I can cross that ocean and get to that other piece of land without fear. I could sail across that ocean and make it almost 100% of the time. It's like 99.98% of the time you're going to make it to the other side of that body of water. And if you want to get to the point, or you want to get frivolous with something, and you go way deep on down, and you start talking about like, well, these deep crevices in the ocean. Let me tell you, using Occam's Razor, what it should be. That deep crevice in the ocean most likely has a bottom. That bottom most likely has a floor. It is most likely dark. But the fact is, nothing down there is going to jeopardize anything that we've ever done. The reason being, if anything was vastly important that was going to make a paradigm shift in the world, we would have figured it out by now. If there was some kind of fish down there that was the savior, or even like on the opposite end was this horrific monster, it obviously would not be able to, adjust to the pressure. Or obviously would have made it state at this point. Do I think, some kind of demon fish living down there? No. But do I think that a lot of people falter on Occam's Razor? Yes, I do it myself. Everybody has done it. They made something bigger than it has to be. It's almost like it's second nature, because when you say something and you go, yeah, dude, I worked 10 hours straight. You always want to say well, I worked 15 hours straight. It just seems like they're needless nothings. And that comes with space aliens. Let's take that same principle I've been talking about, how not needlessly multiplying things, in space aliens. Alright, let's look at this. This is based off Carl Sagan. If you want to see a good Carl Sagan video, look at the annotation right here. That's based off Carl Sagan. Alright. We currently live on a speck of dust, suspended in a sunbeam, stuck against a humdrum star, tucked away in the corner of a galaxy that's tucked away into another galaxy of billions. So we are pretty much close to nothing as you can get. And if we're the only things to ever, by chance, evolve from anything, or have a divine creator throw a dart and have us evolve, we would be a gigantic waste of space. Plain and simple. Nature has a way of deriving order out of chaos. And just because something has order to it doesn't mean it has a point. For example, boiling water. If you boil water, the bubbles come up and eventually the water starts to spin a little bit. That would make sure, and that's like something that can reoccur over and over again. Every time you boil water, it bubbles. And at the end of the day, it moving pretty much is meaningless. I mean, not everything that happens really needs to have a meaning. Life can be a game of chance. And that brings me to this point. The reason I personally think that we've never seen something capable of interstellar travel is basically in a question form. And that question would be this: do you think that we could survive technology's rise? That is the question. That's actually part of the Drake equation. Can this civilization survive the rise of technology within itself? We are currently in that stage of technology's rise. Think about it. In 1900s, what was happening? We were starting to get civilized. Electricity lines were starting to get laid. The automobile was moving out. And then as soon as we start getting civilized, what's the first thing happened? What happened? World War I. Alright, we almost kill each other off. Millions of people die all across the world. Alright, and it ended in 1918 with the Versailles Treaty. Then, 15 years later, 15 to 20 years later, what happens? World War II. What happens after World War II? The Korean War, or the Korean conflict. In Vietnam, and so on and so forth. We've pretty much been at endless war the entire time technology has been around. We've been at war before that. We had like the Civil War, Revolutionary War. But the fact is, they have never been on a scale that was these later wars. You know, mass destruction, telecommunication made a huge world small. Whereas a battle in the Revolutionary War was pretty much played out, and it was played out in weeks' time. A battle in World War II had like the ham radio and the walkie-talkies and such. They could pretty much coordinate and be more efficient. Back, like for example, Napoleonic times, Napoleon lost to a guy named Wellingsworth at the Battle of Waterloo. And pretty much the strategy that Wellington used against Napoleon was basically standing over a ridge and hiding his army and having a stronghold. Napoleon, being arrogant, did not counterattack this. Instead of using strategy, just threw people at the right flank of the British line, and in turn, he lost the Battle of Waterloo, which kind of spiraled out and just destroyed himself. Humans will, well, I can't say anything definite here. I personally think we'll be able to survive technology's rise, but at the same aspect, if an alien landed here today, it's the same thing as if Jesus came back today. Let's say just both. Let's say alien and Jesus came at the same time. Do you think we could get along that alien race if we can't get along with the Russians? Do you think we can get along with this alien race if we can't even get along with North Korea? What's to say this alien race isn't just like us? What's to say they're not looking for another? What's to say this alien race, which has mastered interstellar travel, which is and have years ahead of us on technology, come to us, and for the sole reason is they want the oil in our planet. Maybe they have oil in their planet. Maybe they used it all up. Maybe they're harboring here. These are all skepticisms. But the fact is, we evolved this way through greed, through power, this righteous nature to kill ourselves. Why didn't they evolve the same way? Why isn't the people that we're coming to see here the master race on another planet that wants to destroy us? This is what's been going on with Hollywood movies all the time. The aliens are coming, the aliens are coming. Hopefully they're these peaceful people, but how can you expect peaceful people when you're not peaceful people yourself? Even if you go to church, you have hypocritical people, and people are scared by nature. And that's the reason I think we never see aliens. I think they didn't survive technology's rise, and if we don't change our ways, we probably won't survive technology's rise. Right now, war is being glorified to the extreme. Even myself, I'm a Call of Duty commentator, a game based around war, based around human, suffering, and human conflict. and it just gets glorified. I've never been one to basically look at video games like, oh, little Jim, he's listening to Meredith Manson playing Call of Duty, he's obviously going to go on a killing spree. No, I don't believe in that, but I do believe in subliminal messaging. And if a child sees guns and sees guns continually, he's going to think guns are okay. Just like if a child grows up into a racist household and he sees racism happen regularly, he's going to eventually go be racist himself, subliminally. Even if he grows up in a public school and he has friends of other races, that life at home will have him balanced and tilted, and then it's just that they'll change. But I've kind of lost my train of thought on here. But that's pretty much the reason I think we've never seen aliens. Mainly because I don't think, if we can't get along with each other, why do we expect other people in other worlds to get along with each other if they evolve just like us? They might have, they might be, sulfur based while we're carbon based. It doesn't even matter. Fact is, if your civilization goes through and starts realizing that, a rock can kill Jimmy, you're eventually going to go through the same holes and loops that we're going through. And if we look around, if we ever based on interstellar travel, we might be the guys that become aliens to somebody else. Who knows? This is just some food for thought. Tell me what you guys think. It's been your boy Wings of Redemption. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. As always, if you could, please leave a rating on the video. Love you guys.